Hey guys, it's Leonora, and I wanted to come at you guys with a video pretty much on some tips on how to be a better registered nurse or a better licensed practical nurse or a better healthcare professional in general. I want to apologize for my lighting. One, my camera. I used to have a Canon T3i and I lost it. I don't know if somebody stole it from me or what. I lost my camera. I have to buy another camera. Two, I'm like trying to find the perfect lighting in my house. The window is right in front of me, and it was just sunlight, and now it looks all gloomy outside. I don't know. I hope you guys can see me okay. I wanted to go outside in the natural sunlight, but it is so hot. I'm not going outside in Miami. No. Anyways, okay, so I wanted to make this video because I feel like there's a lot of nurses that are burnt out, and it shows like in their work. Or for the new nurse who just needs some tips, these are my personal tips. If you guys have any additional tips, or if you guys want to comment on anything, let me know down below. Send me an email, leonoralovesnursing@gmail.com. Send me a YouTube inbox, or leave a comment below, and we can all talk together, like old times, right? Okay, so the first promise I can say is never make promises that you can't keep. Now, if you promised one of your patients, it could be something as small as I promise that I'll call the doctor, or I promise I'll bring you some crackers and some tea, or I promise I'll give you a back massage. Always, 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 always follow up on all your promises. And me, I wouldn't even make any promises because patients will remember. I don't care how old you are, how old the patient is. They'll be like, oh, you remember when you promised me this and that, and they can view that as lack of respect because you promised them something. So never make promises that you can't keep, and never don't put a specific time to something. Never tell your patients that you're going to come back with their medication in 30 minutes and you don't, because you don't know what can happen. I say to my patients, I'll be back shortly with your medications. If you need any questions, call my cell phone. Oh, now the sun wants to come out. If you need any questions, and now the sun wants to go back. I'm sorry. Okay, so I tell my patients, if you need me immediately, put your call light on, and also call me on my cell phone. And all nurses and all patient care technicians, CNAs, we all carry a cell phone at work. And my number's on the board, patient PCT numbers on the board, and also the kitchen numbers on the board in the patient's room, and also the front desk number, the nurse's station numbers on the board. So I never promise anybody, because at the end of the day, you will never hear the end of it. They'll be like, Leonora, you said that you're going to come back in 30 minutes, and you didn't. They could not like you. There could be some tension. I mean, you could have a patient coding, when your other patient's coding, and you don't have the time to go back to your patient within 30 minutes, like you said, and you're going to end up disappointing the patient, and nobody wants to be disappointed. So never make promises you can't keep. Just say something like, I'll be back shortly with your medications. Is there anything I can get for you right now before I leave? If there is something that they want, get it. If you're able to, get it. If not, delegate it to the patient care technician or the LPN, whoever, if you're a registered nurse. And tell them that you'll be back shortly with your medications or whatever that they need, and have them call you if they have an immediate need. And my second tip is, the second tip is always follow up with concerns before the end of your shift, and don't carry tasks on to the next shift. Now, if you tell the patient that you're going to call the doctor for something, make sure you go back to the patient's room and tell them what the doctor said. Okay? Never just have the patient or the situation in limbo. And don't follow. If it's something as small as calling the doctor, I don't care how busy you are, especially if you have your cell phone on you, you can go to the front desk, find the doctor's number, and call the doctor, leave a message, and tell the doctor to call you back on your extension, and then the doctor will call you back, and you can tell the doctor of any of the patient concerns. Don't just carry it on, because what happens is you get laziness. You get lazy nurses who, you can, okay, for example, if the patient's left arm is more swollen than the right, but the patient is on a anticoagulant like um, um, Coumadin or something like that, and their INR is therapeutically, it doesn't matter. Still let the doctor know, you know. But some nurses, since they think that the patient is already on Coumadin or Lovenox or Xarelto, and that their platelet is therapeutic and that their INR is therapeutic, that it's not of a high concern. So what they do is they don't do nothing on it. They just tag it to the next shift, and then the next shift tags it onto the next shift, and then the next shift tags it onto the next shift, and you don't know, your patient could possibly have a clot in their vein, which is the reason why your patient's arm, the left arm or the right arm, is more swollen than the other arm. So never carry on certain tasks. Always, once you clock out, you know that you did everything that you could. And if it's something that you really couldn't get, like maybe a specimen, that you couldn't get because the patient forgot to urinate in the specimen hat, I mean, that's understandable. But when there's certain things that is of concern, such as certain things are swollen or something is hurting, don't make it upon your nursing assessment that you don't think that is important, because I'm telling you, 9 out of 10 times it is very important. Number 3 is always be a patient advocate. Always be a patient advocate. Don't ever be afraid to speak up for yourself and for the patient. I don't care if you have to call the doctor 5 times. At the end of the day, you're protecting your license, okay, and you're protecting yourself. So always be a strong patient advocate. There have been times that I know some some nurses are so afraid of speaking to certain doctors, okay, that there have been medical errors that have occurred. Either someone's lab, it was all out of whack, or whatever the situation was, that the nurse was afraid of communicating with the doctor, and that puts the patient at great risk. Always be a strong patient advocate. If you're really quiet and you're really afraid and you're intimidated, nursing may not be for you. I'm going to tell you straight up, you have to be very strong. You have to be able to talk, to stand up for yourself, to speak up, to talk back when you need to, because doctors or other people that are on a higher level, they may try to belittle you and just make you feel intimidated, and that's not what you want. Okay? So the next tip is always listen to the patient and the family concerns. And that's my last tip. I don't want this video to be too long. It's already going on 8 minutes. Jesus. Okay. Always listen to the patient and the family concerns. Never, ever tell the patient, oh, something is common or that's common. There's certain things, there's certain procedures that you do that is common, like the reaction that the patient will feel, that is common. Such as, let's say you're giving a Lovenox injection and the person feels some burning. That's common. Or sometimes you're changing the dressing and the patient says it's hers. Okay, that's common. But if the patient is getting shortness of breath, if the patient is getting nauseous all the time, if the patient is coughing up phlegm or different color phlegm and it's not normal, if the patient is being dizzy, if the patient is complaining of headaches, if the patient is telling you, complaining that my feet are more swollen today than they are before, even though they're on an antidiuretic, you have to alert the doctor. My patient the other day told me that when she was in the ER, she warned, for the last 2 or 3 days, or not the ER, I think she was probably admitted after being in the ER. She kept complaining that her feet was hurting. Her feet was hurting, but they were like numb. They were numb, they were hurting, and she just couldn't move it. She just could not move it anymore. It just was getting weaker and weaker. And she kept telling it to the nurse or whoever, nobody will listen to her. She kept telling it to the nurse, nobody will listen to her. a good patient advocate, a good nurse, listened to her, was an advocate, called the doctor and said, hey, this patient is complaining of numbness. This patient is complaining that they can't, move their toes. Upon assessment, it is true her feet are weak. She's not able to move her feet. Guess what? They found a tumor, okay, growing on her spinal cord. They did an MRI and they found a baby tumor pressing against some type of nerve, and they immediately rushed her to surgery. I mean, as a nurse, we are so important. We are the frontline people. Please do not just brush patients' symptoms underneath the carpet. Please don't do it. Don't do it. Guys, this video is becoming too long and I don't want to bore you. Comment down below. Let me know how you feel about this. Let me know different situations that has happened to you in your life as a patient or as a nurse. Let me know. Send me an email. Comment down below. Let me know. And I will talk to you guys later in my next video. Bye.